Okay, says we're live. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Barbara. All right, these are the cool kid talkie paints. I've not played with them. I've had them for over a week, you guys, and other than swatching them, I have not played with them at all. Look at those pans. Look perfect. I'll take this little glare screen off. Not that it'll probably change anything. Hey, Dee Dee. Hey, Bossy Butt. Hi, Terry. Yummy colors, I know, right? You know what? I have just been playing with the granulated and the Art Nouveau set. I'm really loving these bigger pans. It's too late, of course, to switch everything over, but these big pans are awesome. Hi, Linda. Give Tim a little hug for me. Yeah. So, but yeah, the bigger pans, I don't know why. I just don't feel like I'm wrecking my paintbrushes or something. Hi, Regina, and I've got a little friend here today. My brother's dog is here. Never been away from mom and dad, and I was nervous. Hi, Sharon. Um, but I have to say, this little dog has been so awesome. Of course, she knew me. I mean, it's not like she's never seen me, and it's much better here than at a boarding place, because she gets a lot of treats here, and Robert and I take her out about every 10 minutes so she doesn't pee on the floor. Dawn said she's totally housebroken, but I still worry. So, yeah, she just came in. She's getting her little bite to eat, and then hopefully she'll lay down and take a little nap. Because having a dog around is like having a baby around. I swear to God, I'm always thinking about what have I not done? What do I got to do? Ugh. I'll get a picture of her real quick, Devin. This is actually, she's not my grandbaby. She would be my niece. Hey, Smidge, where'd you go? Smidgey, come here. She's probably looking for Robert. She'll come back. Where'd you go, Smidgeroo? She probably went to look for a place to pee on the floor. I don't know where she went. My guess is she is looking for Robert. She has decided that her and Robert are BFFs. I'll show you a picture from last night that I sent my brother because he was texting me saying, how's Smidge doing? Hi, Barbara Clark. He's worried about her. So let me see. I did take one last night to send him. All right, here we go. Here's little Smidge sitting on Robert. And then this morning, first thing I got up, tinkle, tinkle, little start. My brother sent an email first thing this morning. How's Smidge do last night? Like he's as nervous as a parent. Okay, here she is. Hey, Smidgey. Her name is Smidget, and I know she's looking for Robert. Let me see here. Let me see if I can get a good picture of her little face. She is absolutely adorable, and she has been as perfect as any little dog could be. All right, now she's left again. Hey, Smidge, look what I got. Usually you can get her if you, there you go. What have I got? What have I got? Okay, there you go. There's your son. Okay. Little did you know you were going to come here to have to put up with my niece puppy. But she is freaking adorable. I'll show you this little face. Come on. Hopefully I got a good picture. There hers is. She's little tiny. But she's a really good little pup. So And I got her blanket right in here. Hopefully she'll lay down, but I think she'll just be too nervous. She'll want Robert to come back. But anyway, yeah, she's precious. Hi, Colleen. Hope I didn't miss anybody while I was yakking about that little dog. This is unusual. And when I just took her outside on her leash and Robert was out in the front yard, and he said, I've just fallen in love with her. I want to keep her. And it was like, oh my God, are we going to have a pet in our future? The problem with having a dog around here is there's no fencing. How much is that doggy in the window? Look at Barbara with the songs coming on. Hi, Kristen. But yeah, she's been a good little girl. So this 4 days is not going to be that big a deal. And when I get off here, I'll go throw her a toy and wear her out so I can get some dinner cooked. It's like having an infant around here. So anyway, I haven't done much art or anything this week because Robert and I have decided to clean the garage. She has been looking for you. So this is one of the things that I did. And I thought I wouldn't mind doing another one of these today. This is with the granulating Gansai Tambi paints. Those things are so cool. I mean, like all the different color variations, it just does that automatically. If you add enough water and stuff, look at Robert. She's over at Robert's feet looking up like, are you going to do anything with me? Yeah, see, I like this too. Terry, you got to play with yours. Terry said she just got hers. Like this one here. Look at how cool that separation is. It's just so awesome. So, and these were just left over from what I had used before. So I went ahead and used up the paint that I had. Those are the 5 colors. And that's what they look like in the palette after you're done. You know, like this is obviously the orange one. The green and the orange separates. And this was red, pink, orange, blue, and the violet. Look at the violet, how the violet ends up drying. So weird. So anyway, yeah, I thought about doing one of these today, only not with the granulating, doing it with just the regular Gansai. I remember seeing it, Bossy. I do remember seeing it. So yeah, I definitely want to play with more of them. But then we got into this garage project. So you guys, I am so not good. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, Mary. I'm not good at this cleaning garage things because up until just now, the rule has kind of been that the garage is Robert's and I don't go out there unless I have to get in my car. But otherwise, the garage is totally off limits. And then after we got rid of the equipment, I said, why don't we spend a few minutes out just reorganizing the garage, right? Well, that got us into this huge project of let's get rid of some of this junk, which I'm all for. But you guys, the garage, it's a detached garage. So it's like its own little building over there that I don't even have to, I pretend it doesn't even exist. And it's dirty. It's greasy. There's so much junk that astronauts don't know what to do with the crap in this garage. I'm not kidding you. There's so much stuff that you look at it and you go, what the hell do you use that for? Hi, Joyce. So my idea would be to go in there and just start grabbing and putting it in trash bags and hauling it off. Hi, Pam. But that's not how Robert sees things. But he is more agreeable, so we're getting it done. We did a big trip to the dump yesterday, and if I get another week or 2, we could actually have a garage that you weren't scared of going in, which I'm all for that. Hi, Hermie. Hi, Darlene. So anyway, is it time for me to quit bitching? Anyway, this is the only thing. Well, this, and then there's a girl that I follow on Instagram called Sendoodle, I believe. And she does these pieces with like rock, and actually it goes this way, and highlights and stuff. And doesn't it look like some of them are dipping down and then some are almost popping out? And I saw one of hers that she did like this, and I thought that is so cool. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try that. So I did a monochromatic blues and then a little bit of purple, um as I was this is a weird thing, is that while I was working on it, I understood the instructions, but I couldn't see any dimension, right? And I thought, well, what am I doing wrong? And I went back and looked at her piece and I thought, well, I'm doing it just like hers. What the hell? Why is this not working? Then this morning, when I got out of bed and came in here, I could see the dimension all of a sudden. But when I was working on it, I could not see the dimension at all. That's a really weird brain thing going on. And I think I could, strengthen some of the shadows and stuff like that. And isn't Smidget a cutie? But anyway, so those are literally the only two things I've done. And my room is still kind of trashed out. And then we're going to use these later. But for it is fun, Regina. And I did use alcohol markers. And I hate to say this, but I really need another set of alcohol markers because I like these colors. But I don't have any real bright colors. They're all those real muted kind, which I'm okay with, but I wouldn't mind doing this in like some really bright reds and yellows and stuff like that. I know on camera it's more 3D than if you just see it regular. So I think next one I'm going to do more indents, so it really looks bumpy. But anyway, yeah. So I used alcohol markers on it, and alcohol markers work awesome. And all I did was draw the grid, curve out the corners, color them with the color, add some shading. That's it. It's simple as hell. And it just fills up time. I mean, I wasn't trying to make a uber duper cool piece of art. I just wanted to see if I could get that same dimensional kind of thing that tricks your brain. Did I say hi, CB? I think I did. Anyway, so yeah, we'll use these in a minute. And for your viewing pleasure, I will show you the awesome postcards that I got this week. And the mail hasn't come today. So, hey, Amy. Hi, I'm so glad you dropped by. This is what I've been doing, Amy. Amy is my neighbor, where she used to be my neighbor. Look at what you're missing, Amy. Come and play with me. And that. And then I've been doing a lot of fun craft art, which you probably have seen on IG. I think you follow me. If you ever go on there anyway. I hope you and Lane are doing well. And we're hosting a postcard swap, and all the instructions have been on Dee Dee's community tab. And we're 2 weeks out now. The deadline is October 19th. So if you're going to participate, and especially if you're overseas, they need to be in the mail already. If you're here, domestic, you're probably getting close to where it's time to send them in. We're all good. Yeah, it's good over here, Amy. Not missing much. Tell Lane that Karen and Jimmy have moved. That big house behind us that we watched being built, they sold it and they've moved, and we're going to be getting new neighbors here momentarily. And that's probably the biggest news. And then the house next door to me, the big brick one, is also up for sale. So changes going on around here. Tell Lane. Anyway, so this is from Renee Suzanne. And they're really cool cards, and I want to send them out to you, but I'm going to have to be really careful about how I send them out because, and they're all pretty much the same. They're cute as hell. I love them, but the dimensional elements are going to make it really hard for me to send these out in the return address stamped envelope. So I'm going to be watching really carefully. Hi, Rachel. Of envelopes who can has enough postage and can tolerate. I don't mind putting, an extra stamp on to get them out. But I mean, her envelope to me was like a fat mama jamba. So they are adorable. I mean, and I love the elements, but when you're doing a swap like this, it's really hard to accommodate so much dimension. But yeah, I want to definitely show the cards, and then depending on, I don't think I'll be able. No, CB, you don't have to do that. Money is not the issue. It's more how they have to be packaged so that the other cards don't get trashed out and the envelopes can go through the equipment. That's the biggest single thing. Because when I say, like, how can I show this? Well, I'll just cover the All right. This is like her thing was like this fat coming to me. So CB, if you send extra money, you just make me mad. So you don't want to do that. You're going to pay me for having a pain in my ass? I have a pain in my ass every day. His name is Robert Vaughn. Get the checks in the mail today, please. And Robert's in here right now. He just looked at me like, oh, there's a cartoon character that makes that face. Huckleberry Hound. Robert's standing over there looking like Huckleberry Hound. Anyway, yeah, I definitely want to send them. But it's just going to pose a little bit of a problem. But I can either deal with it or I can't. But she used her stamped image, obviously, as the girl, and then some gauze or stringy stuff. And I don't know if it's pattern paper with ink on the edges and some ribbon. And she's just included so much cool stuff. It's just, yeah, how they're going to send back out, because she had them packaged like cray. But Renee, thank you so much for participating. She said, thanks for hosting this. She loves Halloween, if you can't tell. In fact, it's Halloween at her house 24/7, 365. And this is from Renee Suzanne Cole. So Renee, thanks for playing with us. Your cards are awesome. They're adorable. And the stamped image has, it looks like embossing powder on it. I mean, it's all textured. It's very cool. Just not sure how I'm going to get them mailed out. But I'll do my very best. That's all I can promise, is I'll do my best. And I know we probably weren't real clear in our instructions. Dee Dee and I just go through life thinking y'all can read our minds, I guess. Your craft room has been pretty spooky. Hey, Dorothy. Okay, so that's the big package. And then I got one from Jane Litterick, who lives in Canada. So the Canadian mail is finally coming through. Exactly, Dorothy. Do as I tell you and behave. Jane, these are adorable. I don't know if Jane's here yet. I told her I'd be showing them today. But she used all kinds of stamped images and collaged them on to her backgrounds. Yeah, come on. So they're a lot of the same images, but different. But they're all Halloween images. Aren't they cute? This little stamp is awesome. And there's a skull and a ghost. She's got multiple ghosties. And there's Dee Dee on a broom. Paybacks. But then I think she hand drew that little black cat. So they're very, very well done. A witch's hat on a skull. And a raven. Not a chandelier. Candelabra. So let me see if I can just put them all down here. But those two are obviously the same stamp, but in different colors. So they're really cute. Ghosties on Posties alert. I love that little mummy too. I don't have that many cool Halloween stamps. Look at Frankenstein. Well done, Jane. She obviously put a lot of work into these, where she drew stuff. I think this is jelly print background. I'm almost sure it's got to be jelly print background. So very cool, Jane. Very, very cool. Hi, Belinda. A lot of texture in the background. Yeah. So if you're very lucky, you'll get one of these. Yeah, she did draw the little black cats on there. Let's see if each one has a little black cat. Yep. There's a little black cat on each one, I think. Yep, there's a black cat. Yep. Everyone has a little hand-drawn black cat on it. Very cute. And easy to mail. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay, and then Bossy Butt, who just has to excel at everything, including bossing me around. Check out this card. I'm not bossy. I just know what you should be doing. And it's on photo paper. It's just so cute. Freaking cute. Yeah, Jane's postcards were really well done. So, yep, look at that. The hippo. And then she wrote, thanks for co-hosting this fun postcard swap with Dee Dee. Thanks also for your encouragement and snarky inspiration. You rock. All the best. Bossy Butt, Yolanda, Devin Rex for art. She signed all her names. You know, if she's ever wanted by the police, can you imagine the alias list that she'll have? It'll be a mile long. Thanks, Devin. I love that card. I will be cutting it apart and keeping the face of it at the very least. And then on her stream, I don't know, it's been 2 weeks at least. She carved this little stamp of her dog, Lucy. And the cool thing, and I thought this was brilliant, she did an amazing good job with the stamp itself. But then she cut the pumpkin separate so that she can dress up Lucy for all different occasions. I just thought that is so brilliant that next she could have on a Santa suit and a Santa hat. Now I want to start designing clothing for Lucy. Oh, you have more that we don't know about? Are any of them worse than Bossy? But I thought this was brilliant. And then she, of course, stamped the house and colored it in. Now, you didn't carve that, but she did carve Lucy, which is amazing that you did such an amazing good job on it. And then, of course, it's on her jelly printed backgrounds, which are fabulous. And they're collaged, like the green and the purple are two different ones. So, and then she stamped the trees in the background. Well done, Devin. And drew a little path. And 5 the same. So you might be lucky and get one. I know, very clever. But when she decided to carve the pumpkin separate so she could make up different outfits for Lucy, I just went, you know what? I have never given Bossy enough credit for not being only bossy, but brilliant. Duh. So now I might have to call her Brilliant Bossy, but at least they start with B. So they kind of go together. My brilliant bossy friend from Canada. And then these, she did 2 different, she sent extras, which I thought was awesomely cool. So let me show you these. This is from Becky Gallagher. And she does lettering that is just amazing. Step up my game. I obviously have to, Dee Dee, because of you guys. She, again, thanked us for hosting the swap. And part of it is she really enjoys using her hoard of art supplies that she doesn't normally use, which is true of all of us. That's why we did the whole stamp thing, is because we've got them. Let's use them. You're fun to watch and so creative. I hope you have an amazing fall and winter. I'm going to have a lot of leaves. Look forward to the next challenge, whatever it may be. She sent both a fall and a Halloween set. She's excited to see what other people have done. And honestly, I'm going to show you one of her envelopes so you can see. That's her lettering. Her lettering is just so awesome. And then, oops. Yeah. So, let me show you her cards. And she did lettering on this. Well, she did lettering on both sets. So, the witch hat is stamped and embossed in kind of like a metallic. Very cool. With her lettering. I'm not sure how she did the background. It kind of looks like watercolor. It feels like watercolor paper. And then the bat and the little pumpkin. And these are all the same. And each one is lettered, you know, independently, which is awesome. And then this is the fall set that she sent. And the apples and the leaves are all stamped, and then she did the lettering fall. So I always like getting stuff from Becky because her lettering alone is so impressive. Hi, Marguerite. And of course, these are all the same. So well done, Becky. Your work is always just really gorgeous. Well done. And I think this is on watercolor paper as well. So I'm thinking she stamped them and then watercolored. Well, maybe not, because that looks like pencil to me. So hard to say. But you can check them out when you get them. I've been thinking I don't have any fall stamps, but I have some house stamps and ideas for now for the fall. See, Brenda, that's just it. I think it was last week or the week before I showed Lena's, and she used Gorgeous Girls that were not in any way associated with Halloween, but she used other elements to make them fit the prompt. So sometimes I think it's just a matter of thinking outside the box a little bit, you know, and making something fit into your idea, you know. I've had to do that a bunch. So Robert's bringing in the mail. Did I get any cool packages? Oops, don't step on the dog, Robert. Yep, we got one more. Oh, no, this isn't. Well, wait. Yep, we did. We got 2 of them. All right, cool. Cool. Well, no, this one from Dee Dee is just stuff she's sending me. But I got Ruth Edwards. So we're seeing these for the first. Thanks for bringing them in, Robert. I told you to do it. Ruth Edwards got a self-addressed stamped envelope, which I always like. And she sent me monkey stickers, which will probably go out to you guys. I'll include them on your envelopes or something. And she sent an extra as well. So thank you, Ruth. That's cute. Sit for a spell. The witch is in. And all 3. Now see, this is another weird thing. With just the hats, you could use any other stamp. Like the dog is not Halloween, but you put a witch's hat on it, all of a sudden it becomes part of the theme. And these are all the same. Oh, I didn't look at the backs of those other ones. Look at the spider. Best witches. So cute, Ruth. Look at the mummy. Now, the mummy would be fun to have because if you wanted to, you could make him unraveling and include that cloth, you know, all throughout. One stamp would do it for you. So well done, Ruth. I'm glad you played with us. And she used, looks like glitter pens. maybe some watercolor. I don't know. Sometimes it's really hard to tell, but it looks like it's on watercolor paper. So I'm glad you joined in, and I'm glad it got here today to get shown today. So if you're lucky, that's all I can tell you. So yeah, Dee Dee, you said something this morning about you think we have about 25. I didn't go in and count them. I should have, but I didn't. But I think you're right. I think we're well into mid-20s, and we've still got 2 weeks to go. So it wouldn't surprise me if we end up with 30 entries, which is a really good swap participation rate, in my opinion. Because Dee Dee not uncommonly gets 100 or more people at her swaps or at her shows, which means a third of the people watching actually are participating with us. So that is really good participation. And I appreciate you guys jumping in and playing with us. Oh my gosh. I got this little envelope from Dee Dee. That's Dee Dee in her library. I know it looks like there's a lake and stuff, but it's really used to be a dining room. And I got the wenches with the crowns. Now that I would look more like this, except I wouldn't have that happy face. Thank you, Dee Dee. Okay, wait. Okay. Yeah, this one would be me. The more dour look on my face. Just going, what is wrong with these people? And this would be Dee Dee being all happy. Perfection. Queens for the queen. Exactly. And then she sent me stampage. Some of the postage stamps. I actually went and looked for that and couldn't find it, Dee Dee. The postage stamp washi that you got, that was very cool. And then a stamp of the typewriter. Looks like with a little bird on it. Thank you, Dee Dee. I might have to stamp that for postage on the envelopes. You're too nice, Dee Dee. I keep telling you that. I don't know when you're going to start listening. Thank you. Thank you so much. I do love that washi. Love the washi. Thank you, Marguerite. I love when people give me the big finger. If you want, you could hit that thumbs up at the bottom. It does help somehow. Okay, so that'll go over here. Oh, and I found this. I was just playing. This was with, what paints was I playing with? I was just using up paints from one of the other palettes. Can't remember now. But it wasn't the Gansai ones. So I can do multiple things today. But these are the paints that we're going to use. It's the 48 set of the Gansai Tambi. And from everything I've heard, just going out and watching videos, I think these paints are universally liked. But I'm not sure if it's so much the paints. I think they like the paints, but I've not heard one person who doesn't love this bigger pan. I have to say I love it. I wish all my paints came in these bigger pans. Of course, they take up more room, and they don't, they're not as full, but I'm sure you get at least a half a pan, what we would call a half pan of paint in these. And the paint does go a long way. So, but I've not played with them at all. So today will be a first. And I thought of two things. The other day when I did that circular one, okay, I could do one of these. I could just draw it out. I think so too, CB. They're probably more than half a pan. And these paints, in my opinion, are inexpensive. I think I paid $50 for this 48 set pan, which means you're paying $1 a color. Most paints, you're paying more than $1 a color. So while $50 sounds like a lot of money, for what you're getting, I think it's beyond an excellent price. You like the wavy line one? Because I could throw one of those together really, really quick. And because one of the things I want to do, after listening to all the different videos, people talk about them. The Art Nouveau set, people said, is like a perfect mix between watercolors and gouache. The granulating, I'm not sure that there's anything you can compare them to, but when you go back and add wet on wet, you do get some really good blooms and stuff like that. So they behave more like regular watercolors. And from everything I can understand about just the regular Gansai paints, they behave much more like watercolor than gouache. So, but that's kind of what I want to figure out today is how do these paints behave? Because I've used all my other paints enough that I kind of know wet on wet, if you do just a glaze, if I add water to, what they're going to do. But I do have another one of those circular pieces that I can turn into crack art, or I drew this morning while Dee Dee was showing all her very cool stuff. I did draw a pineapple because I thought it was really odd. Dee Dee pulled out postcards this morning. Yesterday, I was trying to think about, oh, what do I want to do on my stream tomorrow? I pulled out these botanical postcards because I use them a lot for just reference things that I want to paint. And I had pulled these out yesterday. And these were the ones that I thought, oh, I wouldn't mind painting some of those. So I don't know. I don't know where I'm going to get the best opportunity. I suspect this one or the wavy lines to kind of experiment with the paints. And I can save the pineapple for later. So if you guys have a preference, say so now, and I'll do whatever you guys want. But I can also do one of the wavy lines. Show the Pantones? Okay. While you guys vote, I'll pull them down. But I really don't care what I do. I just want to play with the paints because I've had them for over a week and I haven't played with them yet. Little Smidgy is laying in between my room and the front door, waiting for Robert Vaughn to come back. Okay, Regina, go have a great afternoon. That one on top now. Okay, Terry's saying was it the pineapple, Terry? All right, and I'll flip through the, Dee Dee was bragging on me this morning about my Pantone cards, so I'll just show Pantone cards. I'm really glad she made me put them in this portfolio. I really am. So that first one seems like so long ago. I want to do another Jean one, though. The thing I don't like about the portfolio is the glare. They're fun little things here, I have to say. I think the biggest trick about doing these Pantone is finding something that color where I can paint it out backwards, right? And this is when I was into butts on things. And that was that gouache paint. No, it was that, wait a minute. I think that was gouache. This is one of my favorites. I've got a few favorites. I like I'll do more of these, I think. The lace, I really like those. And that's my mom. Sundials. Yeah, like reverse painting. The zebra, I really wrecked, but it's okay. It gets to stay. I have to keep the bad with the other not bad, not so bad. And that reminds me of CB. Yeah, the sand dollars. And that's just a Zentangle because, yeah. What else are you going to do? I think I did good on that one. This one is horrible, but that's okay. I did okay on this one. I like how his little body's going over that rock. Sometimes it just takes the littlest thing, you know? Bob, yeah, you're a minion person, aren't you, CB? Devin sent me this, so I had to paint that. And I like it. I think what I like best about it is not the little buttholes, which who doesn't love a good little butthole, but I like the shadows. I think I did really good on the shadows on this one. These I did on stream. Oh, this one reminds me this morning when my brother, I meant to tell you, I started telling you this and then I got sidetracked. Anyway, my brother texted me this morning, first thing, how'd Smidgey do? Let me read you what I wrote him. I thought it was funny. It made me laugh. Yeah, the reflections. Yeah, that was good. I get sidetracked so easy, you guys. ADHD, maybe. But he texted me first thing this morning. How did Smidgey do last night? I said, she told me she loves it over here and has very distant memories of those ogres she used to live with. That's my brother. I like this organism too. I think she does love it over here because she's got Robert Vaughn and then the illuminated letters, which I would love to do more of these. I love these so much because of the gold. The mica gold. And Butts on Things cereal bowl. That is out of the books, Butts on Things. This, I think, also is out of the book, Butts on Things. I didn't get this fabulous overnight. I can be mean. I know I'm so mean. Butts on a eggplant. That was a perfect card for that eggplant, the purple. And I'm going to do another one of these, maybe not on Pantone, but I've done a pumpkin, a crazy carved pumpkin every year the last few years. And so I will definitely try and find another one to do this year. And I did save, I took pictures of those postcards. I can't remember now who sent them in. I need to write it down. So I can do a painting of those pumpkins on the postcards that somebody sent in. A Care Bear. That's a perfect color for the Care Bear too. I screwed up the background. That's why the background has that. Pink Panther. Footsteps in the Sand. Probably my best one, to be honest. More tatting. And this is out of Helen. Ooh, that's making bumps on my thing. What the heck? That's weird. Anyway, that's out of Helen Elliston's books. And Terry was working in hers this weekend, and I said, I need to get mine back out again. The pig was also out of hers. This is an actual little plant that I'm taking care of. I did a really good job on that pot, I have to say. I think the actual plant itself, I think I could improve that with better shading. I really do. But the pot itself, that pot looks exactly like the pot. What the butt? This was also out of the Helen Elliston book. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Nice butt. Here's a little butts on things. I think butts on things is also Devin's fault. So Dee Dee, thanks for telling me to show those. They're always fun to look back at again. And then it makes me want to do more. But honestly, I'm not going to be doing much of anything until I get this garage project done. Because if Robert Vaughn is agreeable to cleaning out that garage and getting rid of some of that grease and dirt, I'm in. I'm in. I'm doing it. So Yeah, so I may not be doing much art. And that's another thing that freaks me out is tomorrow starts Inktober, and I've bitten off vintage cereal boxes. So I don't know. This week is going to be tough because, let's see, today I'm streaming. Next thing I'll cook dinner and it's bedtime. Then tomorrow is a day off and I'll go out and work with Robert in the garage again and try and get an Inktober done. Wednesday, Robert's daughter comes and stays through Thursday. And then we've got Friday. And then Saturday, Robert's grandson comes with Robert's great grandson. So it's just going to be, this week is a busy, busy week for us. So what did you guys decide about watercoloring? You want to do the wavy one? Easy with Denise. CB, I would be just like Denise if I could. Thanks, Devin. Robert's not as agreeable to throwing everything away. Circles, you want to do the circle one? Yeah, because this one, I think what I'd end up doing with this one is end up creating the panels, and then the circles themselves I'll put in the gold. All right, let's do this one then. But until we get some color out, we got to do focus, you freak. What older ones? I have 3 brothers, 2, 4, and 6 years younger. They taught me that they're little butt heads. I have 5 brothers, Brenda. I had Dick, Larry, Garrett. I had 3 older and 2 younger, and 1 older sister that was meaner than all the boys. The brother whose dog I have right now, he moved to Oklahoma a year after I moved. And when we were growing up, we despised each other. I'm not kidding. He tried to kill me multiple times. And if I could have gotten away with killing him, I would have gladly killed him. But then when I went to college and got my own apartment, for whatever reason, we became really tight, like BFFs. I think the connection was, I don't anymore, and I haven't for 40 some years. But we both found pot about the same time. And so I think that's why we became best friends, and we've remained best friends for all these years. And then I like all my other brothers. 3 of them have passed away, and that's really hard. The oldest, the youngest, and the middle are gone. Yeah, we mellowed, but and thank God I didn't. Neither one of us were successful at killing the other one. But I remember one night, I'll tell you a story about my brother. It was summer, and we didn't have air conditioning in Colorado, so the doors and windows and everything were open, and I was sitting in the kitchen talking to my mother, and I can't remember. I was probably complaining about Dawn, and he heard what I said, and he came in and he yelled at my mother, "I'm gonna kill her." And I jumped out of my kitchen chair, ran out the back door, jumped over the neighbor's fence, and went and ran. And we live next door to, if you're from Colorado, Westland Shopping Center. I ran all the way to Westland Shopping Center and started running around that entire mall. And he was chasing me, but he was fat when he was in puberty, and he couldn't keep up. And so I got home first and locked all the doors, steaming ass hot. My mom goes, "You can't shut those doors." Bullshit, he's going to kill me. But that's what kind of house I grew up in, where brothers would chase me either into neighbors' houses, or I had to run until one of us just dropped dead. That was how I lived, and that's the truth. But I'm sure I was giving my mother advice about what she needed to do with Don because he's such a pain in the ass. We probably need to send him to a foster home, Mom. Like, We can't let him live here with us anymore. Now I babysit his damn dog. All right, let's look at the cheat sheet and see what kind of colors we want to use. All right. I think for these kind of projects, probably no more than 5 colors. And if it's up to me, I will automatically navigate towards blues and purples and greens. That's kind of my wheelhouse. But if you guys have a different combination you want, this one obviously was browns and tans, which I also love. And I like blue and tan together. So pick out a color combination and I'll do whatever it is you guys want. Y'all get along and you love them. See, I love my brothers. But if Don would have ended up dead back then, I wouldn't have bothered. No. You were an only child, Barbara, so you had a lot of time to memorize music. Barbara, you're so funny. She grew up as an only child, and that she had no idea what those other 2 boys in the house were doing there. I'm going to use the gold for the accents. No orange. Yeah, I agree. Brenda, shame on parents are dead set on only boys or only girls. My dad was the opposite, only wanted girls. Okay, the sienna paints gray and yellow ochre. All right. That's the yellow ochre. That's as close to the Payne's Gray as Gansai has, but I agree. I love those 2 colors, so let's go ahead and put those out. I'm just going to use the other wells because I've got 5 in here. And I am going to make, I think, a wooden tray for these paints. I don't have any balsa wood right now, but I did look it up on Amazon, and I think I can get some shipped out here. Because I've been thinking, oh, I need to go to Hobby Lobby to get the wood, but this week it doesn't look like I'm getting anywhere near Hobby Lobby again. If I get to the grocery store, I'll be lucky. And this is a fairly big space, so I'm going to need quite a bit of water or paint. All right, so those are our starting colors. But look at how nice it is to work in these big pans. I'm not scrubbing down into them. It's just so nice. And I'll add water at the very end. I like your choice so far, Dee Dee. Let me get these out. Oops, didn't clean my brush enough. That will disappear with enough color. I really do need to clean that brush better, though. I just feel like buying this paint set was so indulgent. But I have a birthday in November, so that's how I justify everything. Oh, I got a birthday coming in November. That's only a couple months, 2.5 months away. No, actually, it's only a month and a half now, so we're good. And also, because I haven't played with these, one thing about, and Terry, you'll notice this when you play with those granulating paints, your water gets so dirty so fast. So, hi, Leona. All right, and I am mixing quite a bit of paint, so I don't want to have to mix again if I can help it. I probably will have to, but whatever. All right, what else is going to look good with the gold and the blue? That burnt sienna would look really good with it. Let's do burnt sienna as one of the colors, and then I'll check chat and see if you guys had any other offerings. Red would, of course, this is a dark orangish red, but a red color, that maroon would look really good with it too. So definitely different color choices over here. I did check at Walmart for the balsa wood. They don't carry balsa, so, which I thought was surprising because they do have a little bit of a wood section. These do re-wet really nicely. As you can see, I didn't spray it or anything. I just put some water in it and bam, it's moistened. That is a nice feature of these paints. But like I've said before, any Japanese product, whether it's a pen, doesn't matter what it is. If Japan makes it, you're going to love it and you're going to want more. Japanese pens are the best of all the pens in the world. All right. Do we go with just 3 colors, or do you guys think another color would look good here? Let me check chat. Six grandsons, lucky girl. Down at the Walmarts, Barbara. Okay, she's saying if you want 5, look at Dee Dee is vying for Bossy Butt title of the year over here, isn't she? Add olive green and DJ brown. Okay. Sorry, you guys. Dee Dee is bossing me around like a boss today. All right, so the olive green is this one, which I'm good with that. Let's do that. I do trust Dee Dee in her color choices. If you've ever seen any of her work, Dee Dee's color choices are not uncommonly really good. So I don't mind taking advice from Dee Dee. But you want to hear something really weird? Dee Dee sent me a picture of something in her house. And of course, being the nosy wench that I am, I'm looking at her. The table and the color of the walls and the art on the wall and stuff like that. The color of our walls in our living areas is identical. Then I looked at her tables. We have picked out the same end tables in our living areas. It's like, dang, girl, you got some good taste going on over there. Now she has, and this was in Buddy's man cave, movie posters. I don't have movie posters in my house. But for Buddy, that's a good thing. If you go down in Robert's man cave, he's probably got naked women, but I'm not allowed, so I wouldn't know. Dee Dee, I think these choices are good. All right, and then you said the DK brown, the dark brown. You want the umber? That's probably the darkest brown. Actually, looking at this set, that's really the only brown in this set. I mean, I guess the rose beige, the beige colors, but that is literally the only brown. I hadn't noticed that until just now, but I do love that Indian red. That Indian red is awesome. Okay, I'm reading chat real quick. It won't let you type pens? Exactly, Alyssa. Dee Dee might know. We do have good taste, Dee Dee. I'm going with the dark brown, Dee Dee. I'm a fan of brown. All right, we're going with the dark brown. The red would have been good though too. Either one, either that red or this brown, but we're going with the brown. The brown with the blue, that can be really nice. All right, we got a plan. We got a plan. And I don't know how much I'll get done today. I'm glad Robert brought in those postcards though. So we got them all caught up. And in case you're wondering, Smidgy is over on the rug, just taking a little snooze, waiting for her lover boy to come back in. And actually, God, am I going to have to get a pet? Robert's really digging having this dog around. And I was like not having the pet mess, you know? But I suppose I could get a litter box and ask Buddy what his favorite cat food is. All right, let's test these out and add some. Let's see, I should have a scrap piece of, there it is. Yeah, this water, it gets dirty pretty quick. There's something in these paints. Okay, that I'm going to lighten a little bit, because I can always go over it twice. God, that's a pretty blue gray. That is really, really pretty. I think that one's good the way it is. Yeah, that one will be okay. Dee Dee, I can't get a dog because I don't have a fenced yard, and I can't just let the dog run. I think he'd love to have a dog, and we've both had dogs our whole lives until now. Okay, that one I definitely want to water down a little. But yeah, without a fenced yard, I think it's hard to have a dog. CB got to go. Okay, be careful, CB. Yeah, no fence. I mean, I suppose I could put up a little fenced area, but I would prefer not to. Oh, that one definitely needs to be lightened up a little bit. All right, those are our color choices. Yeah, I think it's going to look good. Okay, that brown is dark. That's okay. We'll deal with it. Bookish freak. All right, here we go. The lines, I don't have to worry about. Oh, damn, Sam. Oh, and Dee Dee, I meant to tell you when you called. You might want to put in a report with StreamYard again. This morning's stream was really good. I mean, the content was good. But I think I counted 4 times where you froze up, and I think 2 of them were longer than, say, 10 seconds. But I know you pay for it, so I just thought, well, I want you to know when it happened. So, yeah, I noticed, and I wasn't paying real close attention, so people in chat may correct me. But I noticed about 4 times where there was a little bit of freezing. But it caught right up. I mean, I don't think I missed anything. It just froze, and then your words went on. So you need to hide your phone. Okay. Now I have to decide. Let's start up in the upper left-hand corner. And, oh, I have to keep this here at least for a while. Let's start with the dark blue. Okay. Question here. Do I paint right up? Yeah, I think I am. I'm not going to let the colors bleed that much. If they do, that's fine, but I don't think I'm going to make them bleed that much. Hang on. Dang, that's a pretty color. Now I am going to jack with this as it dries. Just to see how the paint will run. And I probably should have picked different paper. This is B paper, so it's cellulose, and it may or may not behave like a little bit better quality paper. But I have to say that bee paper that you get down at the Walmarts is not bad. Not bad at all. So as that dries, I'll have to remember to go back and grab some water and put in it, or just jack with it a little bit. And keep in mind, it's going to look really messy, but I'll go back and over it, and the lines are going to be probably in gold. Hi, Angie. Dee Dee, or Angie, it's hard to talk in chat sometimes, but I hated this morning when you said that you think nobody is seeing what you're putting in chat. I don't think that's the case at all. I think what happens is people are either watching intently to what Dee Dee's doing. Nobody is ignoring anybody. That just doesn't happen in any of our chats. I don't care if it's Dee Dee, Colleen and Kathy. People just don't do that. So please don't feel that way. This morning I was busy messing with puppies and answering text, and but then I feel bad that somebody is feeling that way. So please, please, please do not feel that way, especially at Dee Dee's. I think we have a very kind, welcoming group of people. But I hate. So please don't think that, okay? Because I don't believe that, yeah, I don't believe there's any kind of ignoring intentionally. Okay, see how I'm messing with that blue paint as it's drying, as the paper's drying? And I'll have to do it fairly quickly on this paper because cellulose paper dries quickly. Okay, Angie, thank you. And I like to think whenever you ask me directly for a link or something like that, that I'm fairly responsive. I do try and be present. But some days it's harder than others, is all I can say. But I'm continually impressed with how friendly our group is, and Terry's good about saying hi to every person that comes in the room. Tina is excellent, so yeah. I want these to really get a lot of texture. No, Devin. That's a crazy way to think. Are you kidding me? You don't need the larger set. You only buy the smaller set to see if you like it enough to buy the bigger set. Who trained you? Okay, now these paints do make awesome cauliflowery or blooms, whatever. That I really like. I do like that a lot. So that makes me happy, happy, happy. Along the edges, I won't worry because I'll probably end up painting those black. So. And as you're using these, and keep in mind, this is like what the first time I've ever really used them other than swatching. The pigments, and I heard somebody say they thought these were dye-based. I think they're pigments because I think the pigments are going to the bottom. So every time you dip your paintbrush in, you need to stir it. I love blooms too, Devin. Look at that one in the blue. That's awesomely cool, right? The brown is kind of looks like a turd, but it's all good. The green came out good. So, yeah, it's all good. It's good. It's good. So I can paint a color and go back and jack with a color. Paint with a color, jack with a color, right? This is going to be a very colorful bad boy. But the gold and the black, and I'll add white too, I'm sure, we'll tie it all together. So sometimes it's hard to tell what you're going to get until you're done. And the person who I saw originally do this kind of circular target practice painting, she was so precise about getting, keeping her lines. I figured, oh, that's crazy. I'll just go back and make them black at the end. So that's what I did. All right, now I'll try and get it to bloom with just some extra blue. Another thing that I could do is pick some up. Well, don't even worry about it, Angie. If I'm just sitting there watching Dee Dee, I'm happy to go get links or help in any way I can. But my point was more that I would feel bad that somebody would feel like that they were being dissed or ignored or something like that. It's not my nature, and it's Dee Dee would fire my dumb ass, and I wouldn't blame her. I'd say, Dee Dee, you need to fire me today. But I think definitely Tina, the other mods, I think we're all more than willing to help. It's just, do we see every part of chat? No, we don't. I don't, because sometimes I got to get up and go to the bathroom or get some more coffee or right now I have to take that little puppy out and let her potty. Because my house cannot turn into a dog lavatory. Unacceptable. No, she is well trained, but being the first time away from her mom and dad, I do worry about that, that she'll get nervous, and yeah, I do worry about it. But in case I forget and ignore her, she does have a little pee pad in the bathroom. That hopefully she knows is there. If all you're going to do is a glaze, the coverage is awesome. Just no downside. She's fairly old, Devin. She's like 8 years old. But at her house, she has a fenced yard. And she can go out whenever she wants. So, yeah, this is just different where she has to be on a leash. And I have dogs next door that run. So, yeah, and they're bigger and they bark. And so, yeah, I would be totally afraid to let her out by herself. Now I have to have that paint set. Hi, View. This is the 48 color Gansai Tambi, Gansai. It's a Kuretake product, and Kuretake products are just so good anyway. Any Japanese product is good. So, yeah, it's awesome. I think what I'll do with that, okay, I've got to get a snot rag or something over here. Here we go. This little napkin that I probably only blew my nose on a couple times. Okay, and it picks up. Now, one of the other ladies that I watched was saying that it is staining. I can't say that with any certainty because I don't know. That some of these colors are very staining. Now I can see that that dark blue being very staining. So, but I have to say, like, that yellow ochre right there, picking it up. I bet you if I worked at that, I could get that back to pretty much white paper. There'd be some stain there, but I could get that back to white. I would bet you money. Because I'm into betting money. Not really. Worst gambler in the world. But these are, I'm loving them so far. And the granulating, I love them. And the Art Nouveau set, totally different color. And I think totally different behavior, if I'm being honest here, and if my memory is worth half a damn. And the reason I really felt good about these, that adding the water, whatever would work well, was because when I did the swatches, I dropped one little drop of water right there in the middle of that light blue, and look what it did. Bam, push that paint right out of the way. So whoever said they thought they were dye paints, I think they're full of crap. I don't think they're dye paints at all. These are definitely pigment paints. I say definitely, like I know. I don't know. But in my opinion, yeah, these are not dye. They're pigments. And I did go to their website and try to read, and they do put out some of the pigment colors. So there weren't any on the granulating set that I could find, but they do put out their pigments on the website. So if you're, a real artist and you want to know light fast and stuff like that and how they're going to blend, and all about the pigment information, on these paints, it is on their website. So they're definitely not trying to hide anything. And a lot of companies don't put their pigments out. It took me forever to find the Prima paints. Okay, well, this one's drying. Yep, I better get the green off just in case. I'm going to try just dropping some little bit of water on it. Let's see what just adding water to it later does. The granulate, well, now that could be Devin, but I don't remember them talking about the granulating set. But yeah, there's something about them. But like on this red, I can tell that the pigments that are in that particular color, I know are very heavy because they're sinking, not so much in the blue. So I think that's one of the things you learn as you use them is that red, I hope I remember that is a heavy pigment because it doesn't stay in the water. But excuse me, you could be right, Devin. I know you didn't see me ask if they can mail that glue that Dee Dee was using, if they mail it in the cold. My guess is, Angie, if you order it on Amazon, yeah, they'll send it. I don't think Amazon considers whether or not it's cold and whether product is going to freeze. Maybe they do. Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. But I know some companies would consider that, but my guess is Amazon, that's not going to be an Amazon consideration. Just saying. Don't want to piss off anybody at Amazon, but yeah. But right now, October, you're safe, Angie, because there's no place in the United States that's freezing at this time of the year. So if you want it now, I would say go ahead and order it. I'm going to do one wet on wet just to see. Yeah, you're safe to order it now. I haven't ordered it yet. I don't glue that much, honestly. But I don't know how I'm going to get Inktober done, especially this first week. I don't see how I'm going to get that done. I'm going to do my best, though, even if I have to stay up a little bit later at night. Okay, if you're used to watercoloring and you put the water down first and do the wet on wet technique, generally, most paints, as soon as you put your pigment or color into that water, it's going to grab it and just spread it. And especially and paper could have a lot to do with this. But see how it's not just, it is spreading to some extent. And I might leave this one like this. But yeah, it is behaving a little bit differently than other watercolors. It really is. I'm going to leave that one exactly like that. Because, yeah, that's a little different. And I'll try and intersperse those throughout. But, yeah, that brown one just looks like a big old turd laying there. These are fun. I like new stuff, though, so. There's really not much else new going on around here. I'm excited for fall because the weather has been absolutely as gorgeous as you can imagine. It has been so pretty here. And the leaves are starting to turn a little bit. And we're at October. Usually our leaves are like turned by now and getting ready to fall. But the acorns have started falling. So the squirrels are happy, happy little creatures. Let's get this really, really clean. Man, my water is seriously dirty. And I've been loving that. The nice cool temperatures at night and get up in the morning and it's nice and crisp. And yeah, I'm loving that. One thing I'll say about this bee paper, it sucks up the oil in your hands. They do, Devin, don't they? Hi, Becky. I showed your cards, Becky. They were so adorable. And your lettering is, as usual, mind-bogglingly good. But yeah, I showed both your cards. So thanks so much for playing with us. And I know anybody who gets them will be thrilled to have them. Okay, now where I splattered the water, it made a, down here, you can definitely see. This is not dry yet, so I'm going to drop some in there and some in there like that. Because this is just experimenting, just having fun. I'm going to do another wet on wet over here. And we've got about, I don't know, at least 25 participants. So before it's all said and done, I'll bet we have at least 30. And I didn't stir that up this time, so it should be a lot lighter. But I've got quite a bit of water here. You guys want me to pull you in a little bit? Yeah, it was a fun swap. And I think one thing we all agree, Becky, is your comment and your little note about using stuff that you have. And I think that's so true of our stamps. I think all of us have just a ton of stamps. Oh, I want to do this one wet on wet. I have so many stamps and I don't use them near often enough. So I think that's one good thing about the swaps is kind of forces us into using what we have, or in Devon's case, carving your own. I think it was Ruth Sheldon this morning said that she was trying to carve stamps and she was not doing it well and she was hurting herself. So it may not be for her. Don't watch Devon. Devon actually did stamp that or carve that Lucy stamp on her stream, and she made it look real easy. Dee Dee makes it look real easy. It's a little bit harder, I think, than they make it look. Just saying. But yeah, I totally agree with you, Becky, that it's a good chance to use stuff that we ignore. And especially like Halloween, you only get to use those crazy things once a year. Okay, now this is looking very grungy. I do like how that brown right there, now that I've pulled you guys in a little bit, you can kind of see better. This bee paper is fairly textured. And you can kind of see how the pigments are settling. And that one was just pretty much a wet on wet wash. That was it. Just put the color down. Don't do anything to alter it later. But I like how you can see how the pigments are settling. Okay, I'll add some little bit of water there. And this one's changing because the paper has gotten a little bit warped. And so it will create puddles. But that's how I got that really rich color in that other one that I showed. Where was it? I don't know what I did with it now. But anyway. Very cool. All right, I haven't done a wet on wet blue one yet. Let's just do a little testaroo with that. And if you believe in the power of prayer, keep the people who have been affected by the Hurricane Helene, in your prayers. That is so unbelievably devastating down there. I just couldn't believe the pictures when I saw it. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't paying that much attention to the news. I didn't realize it was so close to Dee Dee, and she's probably sitting at home thinking, well, what a great friend she is. She's not even checking on me. I didn't realize that it was up that close to her. I really did not. I would have been calling checking for sure. But yeah, the pictures coming out of there are absolutely mind-boggling. So prayers out for those people. I mean, people, well, losing their lives is the ultimate, but they're losing everything. They're losing their homes. They're losing people they love. No food, no water. I was just, when I finally did get a chance to catch up with the news, I was just flabbergasted at the pictures I was seeing. That far north, you know? Yeah, North Carolina, just, that is just unbelievable what has happened over there. And I have to say, not to rile anybody up, but I am so dismayed at our government's response, and that they're not going to send any more relief. I'm just so pissed off. I mean, I'm just telling you, I'm pissed off. I pay a lot of taxes. And you slept through it, Leona. I don't know. Yeah. I did send some money to two different organizations. One of them was a helicopter company that I saw on Twitter that they were looking for pilots. They would let you use their aircraft to go in and do rescue and to deliver goods, and they just needed people. They had the equipment, they just needed people to fly it. And I thought that's an amazing thing, that Americans are doing amazing things for fellow Americans. It just, that warms my heart like crazy. So, yeah. But anyway, if you believe in the power of prayer, I just wanted to remember to ask you to please, I'm a huge believer in the power of prayer. And yeah, lift those people up. They need it. I mean, a silent prayer is, if that's all you can do, in my opinion, that's more than enough. Your town sent troops Saturday. Okay. Yeah, it's yeah, Dee Dee, I agree. But I do believe that if it's all you can do, don't dismay. It's more than enough, and they need it. Even just knowing that people are out here praying and caring for them. But yeah. And I was reading, I can't remember where I read it because I go read articles all over the internet. But I read an article that this is not a new event. This is like 100-year event. This has actually happened before down there. And I did not realize that. You'd think North Carolina getting hit by a hurricane, that's crazy. There was one in the early 1900s that did this same thing. I think it wiped out Asheville, to be honest. So yeah, it's not an unheard of thing. Look at that. Okay. I'm going to have to lift this up. Look at that, how cool that green is. And look at just one little drop of water there. It's very cool. Very, very cool. I'm going to have to get out my other clean water, obviously. Let's add some darker in here. I really like that dark blue. See where it'll go. The paper warpage will affect a lot of it. Sorry. And Dee Dee told that story this morning, and I saw that same video that you saw, Dee Dee, where the guy was doing a weather report, I think, or just a report on what was going on in the area. And there was a woman in a car screaming behind him, and he literally said, "I'll get back to you guys," and left his newscast and went and carried her out. We need more men like that. Definitely could use more men like that. Strong enough to carry, and she wasn't a big woman, but strong enough to carry that girl out of, saved her life. Probably did save her life. Given one opportunity like that, I hope I would step up to the plate. And I would like to think everybody would for their fellow man. Who knows? I'm not using very much brown, am I? Let's do a brown over here. I did get some clean water. I had 2 jugs here, so. And I may have to end up cleaning both of them, because this does really dirty your water. But if that's the worst thing, it's all good. And one thing I learned last week, plumbers are not cheap. God. Let's put a brown over here, because I really have been neglecting this brown. What the heck, girl? Now I know why plumbers don't tell you how much you owe while they're here. They wait and send you the bill later. Because when the top of your head blows off, they don't have to watch it. I'm pretty sure that's their plan. Yeah, when she gets that bill, Top of her head's going to blow. I don't want to be here. These colors would work in, yeah, they would. The only problem with coloring books and water-soluble products is, what are you married to him, Brenda? I think if I offered these guys a roast, they'd laugh at me and say, no, we'll take the cash. We can buy 500 roasts for what you owe us. Just saying. I'm still glad that I had him come out and work on the watering system, but ugh. It's good to be a plumber, apparently. And I'm sitting here bitching and complaining, but no, I do not begrudge those guys charging a good wage because they do things that I wouldn't do. You could pay me 5 times that much and I wouldn't do what they do. So there you go. Say, shut up, you big whiner. Definitely wouldn't work for your roast. Well, Buddy could maybe make him a roast, Dee Dee. There isn't much better than a good roast. I will say that. I do love a good roast. I wish my mother was around to make me a roast and then to make me vegetable soup, because sometimes in her vegetable soup, even though it was vegetable soup, she'd put meat in it with the leftover roast. Oh my God, I love that so much. Yeah, but can't afford a roast anymore with some taters and carrots. Exactly, Leona. Oh, an onion. Oh, I imagine Buddy's roast is good. Yeah, get some onion in there and a bay leaf. Oh my God, now I'm getting hungry. And I don't even have an idea for dinner tonight. That's how bad I suck. I think this is going to look cool. I hope. Okay, he is your husband. Last New Year's Eve, we spent the night standing in the rain, me holding the light and him digging the septic tank clean out. Oh. Met Elmo, your black snake. Oh my gosh, Brenda. Hats off to your hubs. You had to make a cake to go with it. I can imagine that. I could probably say some other things right now, Brenda, but I will spare you and your husband any further embarrassment with the ridiculous crap that jumps into my head. But just remember, I'm really a 12-year-old boy at heart. So anything I was going to say was probably going to be dirty and would make a 12-year-old boy laugh. Just saying. Just saying. I don't even think I say that kind of nasty stuff to Dee Dee. And I say plenty of nasty stuff to Dee Dee. Oh, Angie, I would love to go to the Mexican restaurant with you. In fact, Robert's daughter is coming Wednesday, and I was thinking, well, I either need to, plan dinner, and I might have the goods around here, or it is rare that I drink alcohol, pretty rare. But when Jackie's here, she likes to go to a Mexican restaurant and drink margarita. And I thought, you know what? Maybe we'll drive into town to the one Mexican restaurant. We used to have a really good one out here by us, but it closed because of COVID. Don't get me started on that. You'll just get me pissed off. Anyway, so that we can sit there and eat guacamole and drink a margarita. Doesn't that sound fun? Now, that's how pitiful your life is when you look forward to somebody coming from North Carolina so that you can go get a margarita. Robert doesn't drink alcohol at all either. So, yeah, I'm thinking I might be able to get some of that Wednesday night, and Angie, but thanks for thinking about me. But yeah, I'm thinking we might just drive into town and get some Mexican food and margarita. Has anybody in chat ever had a blue margarita? I don't know what they put in it. I don't know about alcohol, so don't ask me what they put in it. But I make good guacamole too, Dee Dee. I do that. Cheese. There you go, Devin. I do make good guacamole. And I like guacamole, so if you can find a decent avocado, which I have not been able to find recently, I'm so disappointed in the avocados that you're paying exorbitant prices for, and they're not really good. You made guacamole for your sister? She comes from Texas and you make her guacamole, Dee Dee? Why didn't you make her pulled pork or something else? She can get all the guacamole she wants right there in San Antonio. I know there's people while over there. I don't have to wait to be seated. I go in and get a menu. That's awesome, Angie. It's nice. And if you live in a small town, that's probably not that unusual, you know, that you just walk in, make yourself at home. They know you. They know you're going to pay the bill. That's all they really care about. Are these people going to walk, or are they going to pay the bill? Just saying. But yeah, I'm thinking Thursday we might have to go out for Mexican. I wish that Mexican place that used to be here by us was still open. You don't drink, but sometimes you feel like it. Well, I would only do it like if Jackie's in town, because I know she enjoys that. So yeah, it would be fun for us to go do that. So yeah. And Robert will enjoy treating me and Jackie. He does enjoy doing that. So yep. Let's put a little bit of red in there. This was a good color selection, Dee Dee. It really was. You did good. Now we'll see how bad I can screw it up. The Mexican restaurant is 2 blocks away. Yeah, there's nothing 2 blocks from me. Fields and ritzy ass houses. But I would literally starve out here if I could only go 2 blocks. All right, let's put a green in next. Suppose I could go to my neighbor's house and knock on the door and say, hey, got any guacamole in there? I'm pretty sure my neighbor on one side would be able to fix me a margarita. I think she's coming over Tuesday night to watch the debate. I'm only doing a quarter of it because I don't know how much time I'm going to have. Avocado toast for lunch. Yep, I like avocado toast for lunch too. Need a yellow up here. And I'm sitting here with 4 avocados right now, but they're too hard to eat. It's one of the reasons I want to get to Joplin. I can get a decent avocado at Sam's Club. No, I really like that neighbor. Sadly, though, her house is on the market, so she may not be a neighbor much longer. But no, I enjoy having her for a neighbor. Bye, Rachel. Go have a great afternoon. These little areas are going to get harder as I go up, so I may have to actually get out a smaller paintbrush. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? You know, you know you're half cuckoo. When I was looking at some of my brushes while I've been messing with this watercolor stuff, I found, I'm going to move this for just a second, an entire set of Christy Rice paintbrushes that I bought myself, and I blame Lena for this, that I have never used. How freaking pitiful is that, you guys? I've never used these brushes. Never, not one time. I put them out here because I intend to use them. Locked them away in a pouch, right? Ugh. I can't believe that I'm that harebrained. And I'm not sure if I have a smaller than a number 6. I should have smaller than a 6. I'm not here right in front of me, though. I could look through these nail brushes. Of course, they're not watercolor brushes, but I'm not seeing anything. All right, maybe. All right, here's. This is a uber long handle. Now, why do you need that long a damn handle? I'm just wondering. I don't know where I got this. Don't know what kind of paintbrushes it is, but that could poke somebody in the next room in the eye. Out of sight, out of mind. Oh, Terry, you have no clue. Out of sight, out of mind. Bad news. Oh, I'm going to save that. I'm going to break that handle off. I'm going to make that a short handle. Do you want to watch? That has now become a short-handled paintbrush. I am not dealing with poking somebody's eye out. My God. It'll work just fine. Let me get that stuff off my... Tape that end. You think? Poor Colleen is eek! Okay, Hulk. Why do you need a paintbrush that long? Somebody explain that to me. It wasn't an expensive paintbrush, you guys. It doesn't have a name brand on it, so who knows where it came from. Maybe came in a set of something. I don't know. Don't care. Don't be freaking out on me over there. We'll leave that one dark, just as an outlier. Let's do a green. Was that legal? Oh, arm's length. Well, I don't need a long paintbrush to paint outdoors. I mean, if I'm going to paint the neighbor's house, I'm going to do it when they're not here and after I've broken their Ring cameras. So I'll be up really close and tight, okay? They won't even know it's me. I'll throw paint from a distance. How about that? A brush is a brush. I don't paint that much. Now, Angie, if you did start painting, and especially watercolor, and I'm sure it's true of other I only paint with watercolor, and I have done some acrylic, not much. For watercolor, your brush does make a difference. I will say that. A nice brush, the way it springs back. And I don't do a lot of the techniques to show what a really nice brush can do. But for watercolor, the amount of water that it holds, and it does make a difference. You look around before you cut a tag off a blanket. I hear you, Colleen. Remember, maybe you didn't play with this, but I don't know. In one of the early scavenger hunts, one of the prompts was that you had to cut a tag off a pillow or a blanket. That's funny. You look around before you do that. It's violation of federal law. They're going to come after you. Well, I wonder why that is. Who was sitting now? See, I have a huge problem with government regulation as it is anyway, you know. Like, I bought my house, I paid for my house, and you're going to tell me what alterations I can make to it? Are you crazy? That's ridiculous. But anyway, that's just me being a butthole as usual. But yeah, they're sitting in a room going, okay, we need to start regulating these pillows and blankets. We need to put warnings on them, and if they take that tag off, we're throwing their dumbasses in jail. Oh, I know, Dee Dee, it's only before it's bought so that you get the, I guess it's the fire information and whatever else. But still, is it not ridiculous that these buttholes sit in meetings and go, you know what? We really need to regulate this blanket and pillow business. This is completely out of hand. Doesn't matter that we're not going to regulate or put anybody else in jail, but those pillow bandits, those bastards got to go. That's it. Get some regulations out here on my desk tomorrow. You'd think they'd have something to do, you know, like, yeah, I don't know. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Most people do, so you won't be alone in that little task. This is going to have a lot of gold on it. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to do this one really light. I left that one really dark. I'm going to do this one really light. I hope, if I can manage. I don't think we have, hi Barbie. I don't think we have, like assessors that come around and check what's going on around here. I really don't. I know they do in cities, especially California. They watch really carefully what you do on your own property. I don't think they do out here, or probably half these people couldn't get away with what they do. And I do like some standards, you know. But yeah, I think they go overboard. I think, okay, how old is the country? It's pretty old by now. Okay. Do you guys don't think that we've been in existence long enough and now that we don't need any more lawmakers because we have enough laws as it is? Because most of the stuff they do, quite honestly, you guys are going to just go, oh my God, you are a radical wench. And I am. But most of the stuff that they do, in my opinion, has more to do with revenue generation than it does with keeping you safe or healthy or anything else. It's all about control. I agree, Dee Dee, but when I observe around here, okay, we've got a little town 7 miles from me. And this has been going on back since when Bill Clinton said he was going to put 100,000 police. Of course, now they don't like the police, but back when Bill Clinton said he's going to put 100,000 police on the streets, okay? And all they had to do was get cleat certified, and then they were going to be eligible for a boatload of federal money, okay? So this little town 7 miles from me did that. The guy who they hired as the cop was and this happened across the lake. I'll tell a different story about him. Anyway, this guy, if you remember Mayberry RFD, remember the drunk Otis? Okay. The town drunk went and got cleat certified, and they hired him to be their cop. I swear to God, and it's a town that you have to drive through to get to the lake. So it's got a lot of out-of-town people that are coming through all the time. Okay. The town population is so small that probably 80% of the traffic that goes through that town are out-of-towners, people who don't live in that town or even nearby that town. And they put the speed limit down to 25 miles an hour. So you have to go for about 1.5 miles at 25 miles an hour. Do you know the chances of that happening? It's almost none. So they're handing out tickets right and left over there when he's sober enough to drive to catch you. I'm not kidding you. The whole thing was just a scam. They are doing that. Of course, they bought a cop car with the federal money they got. This is a town that doesn't have sidewalks. I mean, it has no public service except for revenue generation from this cop, this drunk cop, who sits and drinks in his patrol car. And you think I'm making this up. Look, I just put my hand in wet paint because I'm famous for that. That's what I think about government regulation. And then the guy over in a town about 45, well, it's 45 minutes. It's 12. If I could fly there, it would be 12 minutes across the lake. But it's 45 minutes to drive there. The guy that they hired to be their revenue generator, speed ticket writing freak, they just put him in jail for molesting a child. That's the police that were hired. All cleat certified, mind you. Yeah, he just went to jail for pedophilia. So if you think I'm a little jaded, I have good reason. I see it with my own eyes. So, yeah. But don't worry, they were all cleat certified and they got all new cop cars and everything from the federal government. Are the people of the town safer? I would hazard to guess that no, they're not any safer. But the city council is richer, and I'll bet they're having some nice lunches during their meetings. They might even serve alcohol during their meetings. They have so damn much money now. Sorry, I'm a little bit jaded. God. It's just so mind-boggling. And of course, when you live in these small communities out here, I don't talk to very many people, but my brother, he was in heating and air conditioning business for years and years. So he was out talking to people all the time. And so most of the time I heard about this stuff from him or, you know, just local newspaper, whatever. But that makes me wonder about what goes on that you don't hear about. You know, like those are stories that everybody knew. We all talked about it, whatever. But what is going on that we don't hear about? And there's a lot of that. I have observed that too, Mary, that they're not talking, it's not wall-to-wall coverage, a major disaster in a state, and nobody's talking about it. It's too much at times. I agree, Colleen. And that's why not long ago I pretty much have abandoned mainstream media. I think they're just a bunch of freaking liars. Sorry if that's offensive to some people, but their propaganda, what they report is skewed, and what they choose not to report is the news. And Robert needs to talk to me, so hang on just a second. Let me mute. Okay. So, whatever you're seeing on mainstream media, I would say don't believe it. I mean, we're at the point where you have to go find independent news sources. And it puts more on you, but I've gotten where if you don't cite where your information came from, either a report from an agency, eyewitness, whatever, I'm not going to believe it anyway. And if it's a government agency, I'm definitely not going to believe it. Isn't that horrible that in this day and age, you can't trust your news source? It makes me absolutely sick at my stomach. See, Angie, I can get mad too, but keep it in perspective. And sometimes I need Dee Dee for this because I can get on a rant like you guys cannot even freaking believe. Dee Dee can verify that. I can get on a rant. And she'll say, you're just upsetting yourself. You're not changing anything. So you remind yourself that there's only so much you can do. But I think it is up to you to inform yourself, find out to the best of your ability what information is accurate and who's lying to you. And then keep it in perspective. There is only so much we can do. It's almost like if you can't afford to contribute for the people affected by the hurricane, by all means do so. I know it's hard in this day and age because everything costs so damn much. But if you can't do anything else, at least say a prayer. That's pretty much where I'm at. I can get mad. I can yell at Dee Dee. I can yell at poor Robert. I can do a lot of things. But if I can't do anything else, at the very least, I can say a prayer for them. Exactly, Angie. And find solace in that, that if you did nothing else, at least you said a prayer. And that's where we're at in the world today. I like the colors so much in this. When I'm done, this is going to look way good, I think. Of course, there's plenty of time to screw it up, like putting your hand in the paint over here. I'll get that hidden. You won't know that's there. Man, I really am on a rant today, aren't I? I've been on a rant all weekend. Thank God I had that garage to distract me. And I never turn on the TV during the day. I never turn on the TV. If some major national event happened, Dee Dee would probably have to call and tell me about it because I am in the dark all day long. I'd rather listen to music or a podcast or whatever. Hi, Shelly. I think so too, Dee Dee. When the gold goes on here, I think it's going to make an enormous improvement. Well, I think it's cool right now. I'm liking it that it's looking a lot distressed. I do like the distress. Another thing I was thinking on some of this crack out, and maybe I'll do it on this one. I don't know. But sometimes like on my collage boxes and stuff like that, I'll take black ink and do circles or splatter paint. I thought doing some of that, not a lot, but just here and there, stamping it with some circles or splattered paint or something to make it look even more distressed could look really cool. We'll see. We'll see. But I think 5 colors is a good number of colors in this so that you're not having to put the same color right next to each other. I don't mind doing that, but will you have a good selection? But when this is done, it will not look like the Target practice that it looks like now. It will have a lot of symmetry, but it won't look like a Target. I'm wondering if I should maybe paint one more section, because I'm just looking at the time I have available, and go ahead and add some of the gold down in there so you guys can see it in progress, and then I'll finish it. Well, I may not have this finished next Monday. I'll have all Sunday to work on it. Well, no, I'll have a bunch of laundry. But I'm keeping the dog until Thursday. And Thursday evening, Robert and I will probably fall into bed practically dead. Because this babysitting is freaking nerve-wracking. No, that little dog, I put one of her blankets in here in my room with me. She just laying there happy as she can be. And she probably like Dee Dee's cat. She probably thinks I'm just talking to her endlessly. All right, I'm going to move to my little brush that I broke. Now watch, this will end up being my favorite brush. Do you think I need to tape that, Dee Dee? I think it's fine the way it is. I probably have never used this brush. Completely forgot I had it. All right, let's see. Let's put some blue in there. When I have more control, I may just go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Ooh, holds a fair amount of water for its little bad self. Put a pencil eraser. Oh no, that's too little for a pencil eraser. You know what I could put on it? Okay, I got an idea. To keep it safe. Dee Dee's saying tape it, but oh, I got up. Smidgy got up. We're not going anywhere, Smidgeroo. We got another hour before we can go out and go walking, okay? Do you need a treat? Have you been so good a girl that you need a treat, do you think? We could get you a treat. Okay, let's do that. All right. Here you go. You've been such a good girl. Come on over here. This is what you do with your kids. You just bribe them. Here. Lay down. You've been a good girl. Can you hear her chewing up her treat? She's a happy girl. Okay, Dee Dee, this will be better than that This is that tack stuff that you can put on your pictures to keep them from going crooked. I just give it a little head and then watch. There's my new little friend. Oh, on the other side, I'll make it a butt. It's a big butt. That's a butt. It needs a butt. Y'all are, see why I am the way I am? You encourage me to go around acting like a dope most of the time. How's a girl ever going to grow up with friends like you? It's definitely a saggy butt. Yeah, well, it's a certain age butt. Let's just say that, Barbie. Yep. It's a butt of a certain age. I can't remember who I heard say that, but I'll never forget it when they're referring to, say, older women. Yeah, women of a certain age. Hell, I think they're talking about me. You know what dawned on me yesterday? I was yakking with my neighbor, and she had been to her 45th class reunion this week. And we were standing there talking, and it dawned on me. Next year will be my 50th high school reunion. I won't go. But she said out of a class, and hers was in Tulsa. She's lived in this area her whole life. But she said out of a class of 700, I only had a class of like 500 in Denver. But she said out of a class of 700, only 40 some people showed up. Isn't that crazy? And I was wondering, well, have most of them moved away? You know, like, or did most of them just not have that great a high school experience that they felt the need to go back? I don't know. You're new to my channel? You're not new to my channel, Angie. You've known me for a long, long time. You may be new here. Yeah, you've probably never heard me rant on like this. Because at Dee Dee's, you guys, I really do try to behave over there. I really do. And I think most of the time I do pretty good. I don't say offensive things, or I don't kick people out for being ignorant. I've never slapped anybody. I have kicked them, but I haven't slapped them. But I try and behave over there. Not exactly sure why. Because I don't want Dee Dee to kick me out. This paintbrush has a crazy little tip on it that I'm going to end up having to cut. But for that little a brush, I'm shocked at how much paint and water it actually holds. Like, that's very cool. I like that. Yeah, see, can you see how it's bent? I'm not going to do it right now, but that may be really hard to get rid of, and I may have to do a trim on it. I don't particularly like to trim my brushes because I don't see that well, but yeah, I may end up having to do that little thing. Nice little brush, though. I'm not hating it. All right. Let's add like a little drop of water. That is totally distressed looking, man. What are you looking at? What's the matter, Squid? Smidgy, go lay down. Go lay down. We can't go out yet. Lay down, honey. Okay, hang on. I gotta go back and read chat real quick. If I was an octopus, I could slap 8 people at the same time. I hear that, Barbara. Your very first live stream discovery was Dee Dee's. Oh, okay, you didn't get kicked out. I would have had to kick you out, Mary. Maybe Tina would have. I don't think Tina's inclined to kick people out. Yeah, we only kick trolls. And there was, a week ago, there was a complete misunderstanding. If I block somebody, Dee Dee always has the option of going back and undoing anything that the mods may do. So, if for whatever reason you do get blocked at a particular channel and you know that you haven't done anything, contact the streamer or the YouTube provider or creator, and they can go back and undo anything a mod does. So if I boot somebody out intentionally or unintentionally, Dee Dee can go in and say, what the heck did you do that for? And fix it. And, we have not been having, and I'm not sure why, but we've not been having, knock on wood, Dee Dee, the amount of trolls that we used to have. For a while, we had trolls like crazy. And Dee Dee thought the other day that there was a troll in her channel, but I think that was just a misunderstanding. And that stuff can happen, You can't just go getting your panties all in a wad, We're here to enjoy you guys' company and do something that we all enjoy, right? What would be the advantage of kicking people out? There's no advantage to that. So, yeah, just cool your jets. But I don't know why we don't get the number of trolls. Was that maybe a Ustream thing? I don't know. But we don't get the trolls that we used to have. For a while, I thought they had eliminated all schools. There were so many trolls and kids. And you can tell when a kid is in there just trolling. Yeah, he had a name that, okay, because actually Elon Musk did it to, I'm trying to think about people who can make you say names where you're saying something that you would not normally say. He responded to, I think it was a reporter. And I'm going to alter what he said because I don't remember it exactly, and it was, I think, on Twitter. And he told the reporter that he had gotten expert opinion from a professor called Eat These Nuts. But he spelled it out so that it looked like a name. But then when it dawned on you what he had said, you couldn't help but laugh. I mean, of course, I laugh at stuff that other people wouldn't. Never mind. But yeah, like that's the kind of trolls we used to get. You know, they'd come up with names to make you say, "Oh, hi, eat these nuts." And you're just going, "How did I fall for that?" But when you're looking at it quickly on the screen, it doesn't dawn on you that you've just said something that could be absolutely filthy that you'd never say. But they gotcha, and they're sitting their 12-year-old self. Oh, I've never done that, by the way. But yeah, they're sitting there laughing their heads off, going, "Oh, we got her to say it." Da, da, da. You know, it's kind of like when we used to have actual phones, like rotary phones, and you'd make prank calls. Um, Is your refrigerator running? Better go catch it. Yeah, they're just jacking with you. So you can either give them the satisfaction or not. It's distracting when you're streaming. I will say that, though. Yeah, bend over. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. So, yeah, just. But to see Elon Musk do it to like a reporter, it was just priceless. It was just like, yeah. He's gotten pretty vocal, I have to say. I wish I had his money so I could have the freedom to just say, "Screw you. What are you going to do? Bite me." And another thing they didn't put on the news, and this is awesome news for humanity as far as I'm concerned. This week, Elon Musk sent a spacecraft up to rescue those astronauts that are stranded at the space station. Have you heard one word about that? That a private citizen, a private company is picking up the slack of the federal government. Now you got me going again. But you haven't heard that on the news at all. And that is, to me, that is the most remarkable thing, one of the most remarkable things that is going on in the world right now. See, Colleen's saying she hadn't heard that. Yeah, just this week, he's going up there to save the astronauts that Boeing and our government, Boeing, who gets gazillions of dollars from our freaking government, can't do. And he's doing it on his own dime. Sent up a spacecraft with 2 empty seats to bring him home. That's the sort of stuff you're not hearing. You don't hear anything good that's going on in the world. It's all about how to hate your fellow man and make you hate an imagined boogeyman. And this, you know, and I'm a fan of Elon. I don't mind saying that. But other than doing good things for humanity, why would you find fault with him? Nothing positive on Elon. Absolutely, Mary, you're not going to hear anything positive about him. And his whole goal is to just do what's right for humanity. He wants to see humanity survive. I mean, and he's talking a lot about another thing that this is frightening, and I don't know how much you guys have heard about it. How much have you heard about population decline? Not just in the United States. It's frightening in the United States, but it's frightening all over the world. Either through attrition or young people not reproducing. Do the numbers, and humanity will cease to exist before our grandchildren have grandchildren. That's how frightening it is. And he's raising the alarm a lot. Like, we need to start incentivizing people to have kids. You people can't afford children. Well, that could very well be true. But another thing, and I'm going to say this, we have become a very soft people. And I don't mean that we should be washing our underwear down at the side of a river. But I remember when I was young, and Mom stayed home with us kids until my youngest brother went to school. So after school, we all had Mom waiting for us, and she was cooking and cleaning and doing the things that Mom does. But we didn't have a second car, and we didn't even have a phone. We had to go to a payphone if we had a call. But otherwise, neighbors depended on neighbors. Like when I had to go to the hospital that day that my brother shoved the sucker down my throat that I told you guys about. Oops. Oh, look at, I almost screwed up there. One of my brothers had to run over to the neighbors to come and get me and take me to the hospital. We didn't have a second car. Now everybody has a second car, and it's awesome because technology and capitalism, whether you like it or not, has allowed us to have such prosperity. But one of the consequences is, people think, well, I can't afford to have a kid if I don't have that second car, or everybody, including my 12-year-old, doesn't have an individual phone, or look at how we prioritize the things in our life. I would bet if you ask anybody in this chat right now who has had children and now have grandchildren, if it meant you had to give up one of the good things in your life, I'm going to say art supplies, that I couldn't have art supplies anytime I wanted. In order to have children or grandchildren, would you do it? I don't know of a single soul who wouldn't say, I would give up almost anything I have or own for my family, or to have, let my children have children. And for people to say, being 40 and unmarried without children is the best kind of life. Those people are, in my opinion, so misguided. Because at the end of the day, when we're all old and gray, we're alone. And those same people who you're out tipping a drink with aren't going to be there at your time of need. But if you raised them right, your kids are going to be there right through to the end. So I don't know. These people who are saying, oh, my life's so perfect because I didn't have children. I hate to be you when you're old. For real. Because even if you don't see them all the time, I mean, I don't see mine all the time. I know it would only take a phone call for me to get whatever attention or help I needed. So there's another little lecture for you. Oh, happy mail from Arlene. That'll be cool because she makes some cool stuff. All right, I'm going to stop now because we've got 30 minutes left, and I'm going to go ahead and add some of the gold. Not everyone can have kids. I agree with you, Yvonne. But I think there are ways that you can have that same sort of bond. There are tons of children out there who need adoption. You can be a foster parent. There are a lot of ways that you can build your own family. Belong to a church. Yeah, I don't. But to say that, that this is a choice, I think it's a bad choice. Not for yourself and for humanity. Because at the end of the day, the only reason we exist is to procreate. Thanks, K Art. I didn't see you come in. Hi, thanks for joining us. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun real quick. It's warping pretty bad. Now, remember the Art Nouveau paint when I said, of course, now I've added a lot more water to this. But there isn't really as much warpage with these paints now that I'm paying attention. There really isn't. There's almost no warp to this paper at all. And this paper does warp. So, another thing. All right, I'm going to hit it with a heat gun real quick, and then I'm going to get the gold paint out. And the only reason I'm drying it is because I know I'm going to stick my hand in the wet paint if I don't. That makes me sad, Angie, but it doesn't mean that you can't create your own family. You could adopt, you could get foster care. You have nieces and nephews. See, that's another thing. We had an aunt in my family who didn't have children. And so we became her children. So, yeah. I know there are a lot of circumstances out there, but another thing too is in this day and age, they are doing remarkable things with in vitro and stuff like that. So I would say if that desire is there, pursue that. But I don't know of anybody who would look back at their children and say, man, that was the biggest freaking mistake I ever made. I can't think of a one. You're lucky to have your nephews, Angie. That's awesome. All right. You know what? Of all the colors, just looking at this, the brown, the water on the brown, the way it pushes the pigment is awesome. The red is a little disappointing, frankly, but the blue is also good. And I like the mellowness of the yellow or the yellow ochre. So, yeah, the green is also very cool. So if you're thinking about buying them and you like to create this distressed kind of paint look, I think these are very receptive to that. So very, very cool. All right, let me leave my little friend here. You can have a chat with him. Probably just as opinionated and obnoxious as I am. So there you go. What you looking at, stranger? What do you think, Smidgy Widgy? We're going to play with some gold ink, and then I'm going to take you for a walk. Okay? You only got 30 minutes to be patient, Smidgeroo. You are just the happiest little dog. Her little ears are perked up and her tail is wagging 1,000,000 miles an hour. She's thinking, you're going to take me out, aren't you? All right, and again, I'll use the gold mica. I had my kids, a couple grands, and hundreds of scouts. Some of my first Cub Scouts are grandparents. I'm getting old. Well, that's not a horrible thing, Brenda. Look at how many people you've collected, and they're worth keeping. So I'd say good on you. You've done something right. I'm going to put the gold on with the ruling pen. I try and keep it pretty small. All right, here we go. Let's see how the gold is going to work. Oh, I'm going to move this palette. I don't want it. That's the last thing I want to knock off the table. Mary, you and I think alike. Yeah, I think it's incredibly sad. And I think as a country, because I'm hearing like Hungary, I think it's Hungary, is giving people tax credits for having children and encouraging large families again because they recognize how frightening a declining population is. Who's going to, we've probably lived in the best time ever. Plenty of workers, plenty of everything, so that we become a service industry or a service country. Everything's around service. But when you don't have people to grow your food, to move your food, to come and fix your toilet, God bless your husband, Brenda. I want to hear those same people whining when they can't get a plumber out to fix their toilet. I mean, it's not just something you do by accident. You recognize that in some sense, we have a responsibility to leave generations for the future. But we don't talk about that. We talk about how awesome it is to be an influencer on TikTok. Kids would ruin my way of life. Well, there's nothing better than to get up on Saturday morning and sit and watch cartoons with your grandchildren. Been there, done that. And if I could trade and go back and do it all again, I would in a heartbeat. To have that little warm body sitting next to you and saying, Mo, would you scratch my back? And then for an hour, you just sit there and watch cartoons and scratch his back. Yeah, that's what you're missing. So, yep, I don't know what got me going on that. Well, it's the idea that we're watching our population plummet. Yeah, the ruling pen is awesome. Gives you a lot of control. And I'm like, Dee Dee could probably do this with a paintbrush and just not even think about it. I'm not there. But the nice thing is you can keep your rules all pretty much the same distance and stuff like that. Yeah, well, grown children are not problem free, but they're still your kids, so you help them if you can. But then there comes a day where they're good. They can take care of their own stuff if you're lucky. I like the gold. And I'm going to outline it in black, so we'll see. Oh, you know what I should have done? Oh, you guys. Maybe too. Well, I can go over it. All right, I'll go over it. If I'm going to add the black, and I want to do it on this one because I like the thing I like best about this one is Dee Dee gave me good color choices, and I like the distressed look of it, and I think doing the circles and stuff will make it only better. But I should have probably done that before I did the gold, but that's all right. I think we can work around it. I'm not going to go right up to the edge there. And I dipped this directly out of the jar of ink. So the only ink I'm really wasting is what is left on the pen, or what dries on the pen as I use it. So you don't have any waste. So you're not putting out product that you're not using. And I don't think whatever's in the container is drying out that quick. There you go, Bridget. We all have choices. And I don't want anybody to feel bad for their choice. No, but I just think sometimes you've got to take a step back and recognize that while we're all individuals, we all have some measure of responsibility to society, whether it's what we accept as a norm, how we contribute, do we support our neighbors, just so many different things, you know. And I think a lot of times everybody wants the privilege without the responsibility. Maybe that's the best way to put it, you know. But I hope people have a lot of kids so that when I need a plumber when I'm 90, there'll be somebody out there that I can call and say, hey, I need a plumber. Because it is exactly that serious. The decline of population. Read about it. Your mind will be blown. And importing people from other countries who don't assimilate is not going to help your society in the end. It will be quite a detriment. I just love this gold ink. Another nice thing about this gold ink, it dries so quickly that I don't have to worry so much. I mean, I've done it, but you don't have to worry so much about plopping your hand in it because it does dry pretty quickly, and it goes on quickly. And I don't think you guys have to worry about me living until I'm 90 because I'm too mean to live to 90. And when the ink stops flowing readily in your ruling pen, and I'm at that point right now, it's time to wash it. Just saying. Time to wash it. I'll do it after this load of ink quits flowing. Oh. I'm going to open it up real wide and go ahead and tap out whatever ink I can. And then swish it in water. And that's about all you have to do to clean it. And then occasionally I do close up the bottle of the ink and reshake it so that the mica particles stay suspended. All right, now it'll start flowing awesomely again. Told ya. I think little Smidgeroo is ready for some attention around here. I don't know how much attention she gets at home, but she seems like she wants attention a lot. But it could be, too, that she's in a strange environment and she's just not that comfortable. And she's hanging out with me, after all. And if the line gets like there, you can see on the blue, I got it a little uneven. When I go over it with the black ink, that all mysteriously disappears. It's almost like flipping magic. Normally I wouldn't do this part of the piece until I was completely done. But since it's on stream and I want you guys to see at least a portion of it done, that's why I'm doing this. Feels like it's getting hot in here. Wonder what, and my air conditioner cannot misbehave because my brother's in Colorado and he's my heating and air guy. But it's feeling warm in here. And my hand is way back here, so I'm not anywhere near the wet ink. But in a minute, I probably will turn this around and start working. This goes pretty fast. And I suppose, I've never done it much, but I suppose if I wanted to go back in and alter any of these little pieces that I've broken out, I probably could go back in and add some more watercolor if I wanted. I hope I haven't missed anybody. Hi, Alicia. But I hope I haven't missed anybody coming in. I'm not a huge fan of metallic except this gold, and this is my second bottle of this mica ink. That's how much I've used this. So that's saying a lot, a lot, a lot. Focus, you freak. It's not wanting to focus, is it? Has it been not focused for a while? I'm sorry if that is the case. Okay, and I wanted to ask you guys, how many of you guys are Survivor fans and are watching Survivor this season? I forgot to mention it. Dee Dee and I, of course, are watching it. Something to look forward to. Probably the only TV I actually do look forward to. Everything else is just filling up time. I hope it's a good season. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Well, I only got 2 more lines. I'm going to go ahead. I need to wash this pen again. And I want to do a couple of those black circles, because if I end up not liking it, this will be the last you see of it. But I think I'm really going to like that. So we're going to see. I've watched every season as well. Well, actually, I've watched every season twice, because I went back. I don't know if it was during COVID. I don't remember, but it hasn't been that long ago. I went back and watched every season again. And I binged it so that it was like, see right there, I'm going to have to fix that. And maybe I won't, you know, because I do like the distress. But yeah, I've watched all of them at least twice. And the old Survivor, and maybe it's just because I'm old, I'm getting old. I think the old Survivors were so much better. Does anybody else think that? It's just changed a little bit over the years, but I was telling Dee Dee the other day, where are the Boston Robs? Where are these hunky young guys who come and just make it so much fun? All these people are a bunch of freaking whiners. I need me a Boston Rob who will take charge. Oh, there was an Alaska one? That would have to have been weird. All right. Oops, just dropped water on my page. All right. Let me get out my circle makers, which is just a little container of lids and different things that will make a perfect circle. This is probably my favorite. I think I'll do it this size. Yeah, we could do small ones. We'll try that. All right, here. I hate when I get out one more thing, because it's just something else I'm going to have to put away later. All right. Well, you know, last season they had The Amazing Race on after Survivor. So I got hooked into The Amazing Race. You know what? I think I'll use this as my little ink tray. And I enjoyed watching that, you know. This year they have Big Brother. And I just don't like Big Brother. I watched part of one season and just went, how can people watch this after 2 shows? I don't know why they're not doing Amazing Race, Dee Dee, but it's not on this year. They're doing Big Brother. And maybe they're going to, I mean, I don't know if they're at the same point in the season, you know, where after the 5th Survivor, Amazing Race will come on, you know, where they stage it so that you're a viewer for longer. I don't know. But yeah, Amazing Race is not on. So, focus, you freak. Yeah, I don't watch Big Brother, but I would watch The Amazing Race. Last year, there was a mother-daughter or mother-son team that I really got very attached to. Now, this is ink, not paint, so I'll do it down here on the edge first. So if I don't like it, oh, that's going to be good. I think I just maybe need to stamp it off and have not quite so much. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. I don't care if it's not like where it's not solid there. That's fine. Any distress. What are you doing with that ink? We're distressing it further, Dee Dee. Some of those shows are just too painful to watch. The young people doing and saying stupid things. Exactly, Shelley. Um, I do like binging. Oh, look at Dee Dee's face. Oh, she's going, oh, why did you do that? I think it's going to work out fine, Dee Dee. And here's the thing, Dee Dee, and you know this as much as anybody. If I don't try it and decide if I like it or don't like it, how would I ever know? And I own more paper. I own the watercolors. I kind of have an idea how I did this. And if I don't, I have a video I can go back and rewatch. And I can recreate the whole damn thing again. See, that's what I was going to say, Devin, is that I don't hardly, other than Survivor, I don't watch anything on real TV. I watch it on a streaming service, or if I want to, if there's a movie or something, I'll rent it for $3.99, or I'll binge it on the streaming service. Yeah, and I've only done part of it so far. So that's why it's a good time to experiment, Dee Dee. Look I just got blank ink on here because now you got me all upset. I'll do that space brown so it'll disappear. But it may not matter because I think when I'm done with this, I'm going to do some ink splatters anyway. All right, let's do this one where we go over 4. And I stamped off part of the ink so it's not real juicy. Because this, using ink like this, it does make it really, really juicy. Poor Dee Dee. Dee Dee's having a fit over there. Your dog needs a walk. The dog does need a walk. Okay, I think I'm going to like this. And I'll just have to wait and finish and see how much I want to do. Because at the end, I think I'm probably going to do some black ink splatters too. And then I might go in with ink, and you know how I did last week where I did some doodles and stuff in there. So we are pretty much at the end of the road here. My 3 hours is up. It was fun. Thank you so much to those who have participated in the postcard swap. It's so much fun getting them. It's so much fun showing them to you guys. So thank you so much for playing with us. Yeah, pray for the people who are hurting right now, and just pray for the world. The world needs it. All right, you guys, I'm going to go take this crazy dog for a walk. Now she's back on her blanket, just snoozing like a little freak. All right. And thanks for spending your valuable time with me. I appreciate it. I love you guys. And go be kind. I'm doing my damnedest. All right, you guys. Adios, amigos.